If you have ever tried to reach a goal, then you know how hard it is to create habits that you can actually stick to. One of my goals this year was to focus on how success is in the process. And the process of creating the life you want is in cultivating the habits that you need to reach that life. In other words, the habits that we have are what make the life we want possible. So I started out by rereading this book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. In the very beginning, he talks about how our outcomes are a lagging measure of our habits. And then he goes on to elaborate, saying, I'm going to read it just so I get it right. He goes on to say that your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. Your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. You get what you repeat. So I knew if I wanted to move towards having the life that I want, that I was going to have to change some of my habits and that I was going to have to work on creating new habits. Not just habits that I could stick to, because I knew from experience that implementing new habits is easy and sticking to them is hard. So I decided to mix things up and take the framework for creating triggers from the book Atomic Habits. Because what kind of trigger you choose for your habit can make or break that habit. And so I took two different kinds. The first is I focused on hot trigger habits. So hot trigger habits are habits that you can act on immediately. So I have always wanted to drink more water. And usually when I make the goal to drink more water, I say, I am going to drink X amount of water every day. And then you probably know what happens. In the morning, I drink some water, and then it comes time for bed and I realize I have so much water to drink. So I have a choice. I can either chug that amount of water or I can go to bed and try again tomorrow. But creating a hot trigger habit was completely different. Instead, my trigger was my water bottle. So I filled up my water bottle, and in the beginning, I had water bottles all over the house. And the idea was when I saw the water bottle, I took a drink. And so I was walking around the house all day just taking drinks of water. When I saw my water bottle, I could act upon that immediately and take a drink. And then another habit that was a hot trigger habit is when the water bottle is empty, I fill it immediately. Another example of using a hot trigger habit is making my bed. So I always had this idea that I wanted to make my bed. A lot of people talk about the benefits of making your bed. It makes it so that you can't climb back into bed and it just looks nicer and all this stuff. And so there have been times in my life I have been really good at it, but then there have also been times, to be honest, where it's getting time to go to bed and I'm like, should I make it before I go to bed or should I just straighten it up? And so what I used for my hot trigger here was if I saw that my bed was not made, then I made it. It was that simple. And so since I started doing that, you know what? My bed has been made every day. The second framework is called habit stacking. Habit stacking is where you take a habit that you are already good at and then you add something else to it. You add an additional habit to it. So I have a white sink, and anybody who has a white sink, you know that they can be some work. They get scratches, they get discolored really easy, and you have to clean them and maintain them to make them look that nice, white, pristine color. And so the habit that I stacked with that was washing dishes. So when I am done washing dishes, I clean my sink. And I don't have to worry about not washing dishes because I live in an apartment that does not have a dishwasher, so I wash my dishes multiple times a day. Cleaning my sink might just look like wiping it down. But if I notice that maybe I had some kind of tomato sauce, I might need to get out my power paste. I used to wait till it was like absolutely gross, and then I had to whip out the bleach. I had to do all these things to get rid of all the marks and the discoloration, and it would take me like half an hour to 45 minutes because I was letting things dwell, and then I was seeing how much of the staining they removed and then repeating the process if I had to. It takes anywhere from 1 to 4 minutes depending on what kind of cleaning is required for the sink. And this is just a few extra minutes and my sink always looks clean. The next example of habit stacking is washing my face. So I always say that I want to be better at washing my face, but it is actually one of the things that if I am not taking care of myself, I let go the easiest. And so I wanted to add that on to something else. And so I added it on to brushing my teeth because I brush my teeth every morning and every night. I need to wash my face every morning, every night. And so I just brush my teeth, and then after I brush my teeth, I wash my face. And I even put the stuff I use to wash my face right next to my toothbrush. The thing is that adding habits, stacking them on top of each other makes it easy to do the next thing, because then it just becomes kind of an extension to the habit before. So I now view washing my face as part of the brushing my teeth routine. The same with cleaning my sink. I view cleaning my sink as part of the dishwashing routine. And so that allows me to do them without having to think about them separately. So that's the framework that I am using right now to create habits I can stick to. What I want to know is, have you ever used any of these before, or do you have other tips and tricks that you are using to create habits that you can stick to? If so, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. My name is Echo, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye.